It's showtime!
Thought you was a player, you just did me a favor. Thought I couldn't break her, you just did me a favor. You can go to come and take her, you just did me a favor. You just did me a favor, you just did me a favor.
I'm a plumber, and I'm showing you this is what happens when you don't drain your water heater annually. Once a year, you'll have sediment coming out like that, and then it'll be going to your fixtures, to your faucet, coming out your shower, just like that, you know, in a real way, man. So that's why it's important, Bradesky, to drain your water heater once a year, you know, man. You just did me a favor by tapping in. It's your Bradesky, Aaron the Plumber, man. And here today, I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself, drain your very own water heater. Now, the reason why you want to drain your water heater, because over time, the burner assembly in here, it heats up the water and it creates dust-like particles, minerals inside of this tank that are naked to the eye can be the cause of your tank cracking at the base and deteriorating if you do not service this thing annually. The same way that you service your car every 3,000 miles for an oil change, you have to conduct a preventative maintenance service on your water heater if you want it to have an increased life expectancy. You know, normally they last 8 to 10, sometimes 8 to 12 years. I've seen some of these things last up to 25 years. They've had, you know, excellent maintenance with them. So I highly advise you to get your water heater drained once a year annually. I'll be showing you a video of what will happen if you do not. And we're going to go step by step together and drain this water heater. I'm Aaron the Plumber. You just did me a favor. What you're going to need to drain your water heater: boom, channel locks or a crescent wrench, and a flathead screwdriver in a real way, man. Step one, if you have a recirculation pump, now this pump right here provides instant hot water to your fixtures. If you have one of these and it's plugged up, please unplug it or you will burn out your pump. And that's like a $750, $850 charge from a plumber to come out and fix it. So you definitely want to unplug your recirculation pump in a real way. Now here's your water supply valve. That means you want to shut it off. When it's parallel with the pipe, that means it's open. When it's perpendicular with the pipe, the valve is closed. The valve is now closed. Now you want to exercise your valves as well. If it's been years since you shut your valve off, you go out there, spray some WD-40 or some PB Blaster on side, because these things get corroded, and when it gets stuck, you will have to have a plumber come out and replace this valve. It's not going to be cheap either. So keep your valve from getting stuck, because they will get stuck to the point where you cannot close them. And if you need to shut the water off at your house, you have to run outside and shut it off at the meter. Now here is where you drain your water heater. You want to put your water hose is going to go right here. You're going to thread it onto this connection here. You're going to put a screwdriver in here and open it in order to get the sediment to come out. So I'm going to show you real quick before I put this water hose on here what the water looks like coming outside of the tank. Now you see the dust-like particles that I was talking about? That's sediment. Now those are going to your fixtures. This is your fixture. Now this is where the sediment is going. This is why you have low water pressure, because it's calcified. The sediment will get trapped inside of a screen inside of here. This is called your aerator. And that will happen if you don't drain your water heater as well. To all you apprentices out there, stop putting the jaws on finish. Smooth face on finish when replacing the aerator. Do not get regular channel locks, otherwise you'll mar this thing up. Smooth face. Now you want to screw on your water hose to the hose bib. Now this is what we call the hose bib, where you connect the hose to this connection. And I like to use my channel locks and give it a quarter slight turn to make sure that it's on there and doesn't start leaking on me. Next step, you're going to open this back up to get the water heater to drain out the sediment. Now you can hear it draining. I opened it up. This is your temperature and pressure relief valve here. This is called your TNP. Now, if your water heater is draining out slowly, then you need to lift this up. But please be cautious, because if you lift up, you have to be very aware. Depending on if you have an older water heater, I wouldn't do it. If you're not too handy yourself and you cannot replace a temperature and pressure relief valve, then I wouldn't do it if you have an older style water heater. So what you want to do is you're going to lift this up to relieve the excess pressure and help this thing drain more efficiently. So you hear it clugging now. That's it, trying to remove the sediment out of the tank. Now you see the water heater draining out, and we're removing all the sediment out. And also you got to make sure your water hose is fully extended. Make sure there's no kinks in there so the thing will drain efficiently. You see the sediment, the dust-like particles naked to the eye after we filled up the bucket. Oh, wasty. I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, after we got the water heater good and drained, we want to shut this off right here. Shut that back off, just like that. We want to close the temperature and pressure relief valve, and that kills all the noise in a real way. Make sure your valve is still off. Do not turn it on. Make sure your valve is still off. Do not turn it on. Now we're going to remove our water hose. Make sure the valve is off so you don't create a leak inside your home. So you're going to unthread it. Voila, magic. No water coming out. Valve parallel with the pipe. Turn it back on to introduce the water back into the system. And you hear the water going back into the tank. Parallel with the pipe. We're back on. Don't forget to plug back in your recirculating pump. And we're back on. This thing's firing back up. Reintroducing the hot water back into the system. I'm gonna turn these valves back on. Remember, parallel with the pipe. Opens it back up. Opens it back up. And we just did you a favor. I'm Aaron the Plumber, and I just showed you how to save money by draining your own water heater in a real way. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for the support.
Thought you was a player, you just did me a favor. Thought I couldn't break her, you just did me a favor. You can go to come and take her, you just did me a favor.